welcome to what's in this week's Oban Times with me, Finn Nixon.
Me, Kathy Griffiths.
And me, Sandy Neal.
It has been another busy week for news here in Oban, Argyll and the islands, and we have plenty of interesting stories and fantastic photographs for you in the Oban Times newspaper and on our website at www.obantimes.co.uk. And remember that we are always happy to hear your stories and see your photographs as well. You can call us on 01631 568 000, email editor at obantimes.co.uk, or why not drop us a message on Facebook, Instagram or X, formerly called Twitter. So, what have we been finding out about this week? We will start with you, Kathy.
Oban's new lifeboat is in town. Hurrah! The new vessel. Thank you, Sandy. The new vessel to serve the area's maritime, coastal and island communities was piped into Oban Bay on Sunday and cheered from the shore. The Shannon Class 1350, the Campbell Watson, that's what its name is arrived in the bay from the north, passing the war memorial, escorted by Tobermory's 7-class lifeboat Elizabeth Fairley Ramsey. And yeah, it's exciting news. There's been lots of fundraising going on. We've got the boat, and 5 crew members from Oban travelled to the RNLI's headquarters and their lifeboat centre in Poole in Dorset earlier in the week to begin the passage home, stopping off in Cornwall and Ireland. There you are. So welcome the Campbell Watson. So that's great news for the town. Over on Mull, community councillors have unanimously backed a move for Dervaig to have a war memorial outdoors. This month's community council meeting heard that a number of people in the village had contacted one of the community councillors to get help to make it happen. We believe there is a little slate memorial inside the church at Dervaig, but folks are wanting one outside so people can go and show their respects on Armistice Day. Tobermory, Craigmuir at Torresey Church, Benesset and Salon all have war memorials of their own, but Dervaig hasn't got one outdoors, so let's wait and see what happens with that. Also, Oban Bay users are being reminded to attend a public meeting tomorrow, that's December the 14th, to find out more about the council's future management plans for the harbour. A consultation over the future arrangements for the proposed council-run Oban Harbour Authority is ongoing and will end on January the 10th, but you've got to have your say now. So this meeting is being organised by Oban Community Council and Oban Community Harbour Development Association, known as OCHDA. So that's a meeting tomorrow night, December the 14th, at the Rockfield Centre, starting at 6:30. And also tonight, if you are a business in Oban and if you were affected by the horrendous floods in October, there is a public meeting tonight, also at the Rockfield Centre. That starts at 7:30pm, and that's an opportunity to go talk to others and make your feelings known and see if a solution can be found to help protect businesses from future horrendous weather. There we go. Back to you, Finn.
Thank you very much, Kathy, and I look forward to seeing all of those stories in this week's newspaper. What about you, Sandy? What have you been up to?
Well, thank you very much, Finn. Well, the First Minister has been urged to intervene as blood cancer patients face lengthy journeys due to a specialist shortage in Oban. A flood of planned digital masts across the Highlands risks damaging some of its most beautiful wild landscapes, conservationists warn. An MSP grills the co-op on island food prices, and a young Mozambican rapper and songwriter who found peace and inspiration on the Morven Peninsula has released a single celebrating the great potential of African people to create their own future. You can read his story in this week's Oban Times. Now, few would have known it, but Morven has been struck by a series of minor earthquakes over the last month, culminating in a loud rumble on Lismore last Saturday. "They happen all the time here," said one islander breezily. "Sometimes the animals get spooked," observed another. And staying on the peninsulas, in the Oban Times, a row has erupted between Morven Community Council and the Royal Mail over a consultation to change local postal addresses from Morven to Lochalan. And a survey of peninsula residents has found most want a bridge or a tunnel across Loch Linnhe instead of an electric ferry. We have the latest news on the Corran Ferry, and there's a lot of it. Pick up a paper or go online to www.obantimes.co.uk. Finn, what have you got for us?
Thank you, Sandy. And GMB Scotland has raised concerns about issues at a Tyree care home after Argyll and Bute Council was accused of bullying staff and spending nearly £600,000 on agency workers. GMB Scotland has reported that 4 of their union members employed at the Taya Rua home in Scarinish are off work with stress after a long-running dispute. I heard from GMB Scotland following talks last week, and the Argyll and Bute Council and NHS Highland managed Argyll and Bute Health and Social Care Partnership, who say it is deeply concerned about any cultural issues relating to allegations of bullying and victimisation. And Oban Schools welcomed golfing hero Bob McIntyre back to his hometown on Friday. The Ryder Cup winner visited Park, Rockfield and St Columba's primary schools before attending a civic ceremony and Q&A session at his former school, Oban High School. I went along to hear from Bob myself, and we have lots of lovely photographs of members of the community with the 27-year-old, who has gone from strength to strength since starting his career at Glen Cruton Golf Course. Meanwhile, in other sports news, after 15 years as one of Shinty's top whistlers and a playing career that saw him win every honour in the game, Fort William-based referee Deke Cameron has retired from Shinty. We pay tribute to a legendary name in the sport. In this week's Shinty Roundup as well, Oban Camanachd are pleased after their assistant manager, Ian McMillan, has agreed to stay in his position, and Skye Camanachd has wasted no time in organising their pre-season fixtures. Badminton players from across the west coast also descended on Oban last weekend for the Yonex and Scottish Sea Farms Oban Doubles Grade C competition. We have the lowdown from a competitive tournament involving men's, women's and mixed doubles. Oban Saints Reds also pipped the Greys in a competitive training match, and Oban Ravens squash team learned some valuable skills in a Scottish squash women and girls only level 1 coaching course last month. Don't forget you can read all these stories and much more by picking up a newspaper in local shops and petrol stations from Thursday. We also love hearing from you, so if you have a story, please get in touch. You can call us on 01 631 568 000, email editor@obantimes.co.uk or message us on one of our social media platforms. For now though, thank you for listening, and it's goodbye from me, Finn Nixon.
And goodbye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
And it's also goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
Bye.
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 Hey, hey.